So we'll continue with multi-threaded applications. We'll try to see an example how to create a multi-threading will be there. So for creating multi-threading, the first process will be you are supposed to import the threading package. Import threading. Once you import a threading package, you can define the role of a thread. So that is identifying parallelism. That is the first step will be there. So I'm going to define a method which is called as display, right? So this display method will have a task which runs a for loop for I in range of 10, and it's going to print the value products of multiples of 2 will be there. So this is the role which is defined for a thread. Next process will be you have to start and stop the thread. If you want to create a thread, so first task will be you have to t equal to thread, and you have to specify the target for the thread equal to what is the method which you are going to assign. So here we have already defined a method which is called as display. That is the role for the thread. Then you have to call the start method which is there for the thread will be there. Then if you want to make your main thread to wait, you can simply call t.join method, so which makes your other threads to wait for the thread t to be completed will be there. Okay, save it. I'll just save it. Test.py. So from threading input thread, right? So this is the first way to create a threading will be there. So I have imported a threading class which is there in a threading package. Second one, defined a method which is called as display, which print the multiples of 2. Then I am using thread class to create a thread and specifying the target as a method. Then I call the start method and a specific thread will be there. Then I made the join method which allows other threads to wait for your thread t to complete will be there. This is the first way to create a thread will be there. The second approach will be there where you are supposed to define a class. I'm just using test which is extending from the thread, right? And inside a thread class I have to define a run method. Now your thread is converted into a thread class will be there. So you have to define a run method which is the actual task what a thread is supposed to do it here. So I'm just using the same printing task for I in range of 10, print I star 3, which is going to print a multiples of 3 will be there. So if you want to create a child thread, you can create instance for the class. So class test right. Next child dot start, it's creating a multiples of thread. Thread will have other techniques will be there. You can make a thread to wait using a sleep method will be there. So child dot, or you can use thread dot you can use the set name get name which is used to assign a name for the thread will be there. You can make a thread to sleep for some time using the sleep method will be there. These are some of the constructs method which is available inside a thread library will be there. So first process will be you create a normal method which can be assigned to the thread class, and you can call the thread to start and run will be there. Second way, you can extend a new class which is from a thread class will be there. Define the run method, call the create instance for the thread class, call the start method and run it will be there. Third approach will be you can use the process multiprocessing which create a process will be there and run the process will be there, right? So second will be concurrent programming paradigm. So as we have parallel process, there could be a possible situation where too many processes attempting for the same resource at same point of time will be there, which results in a either in a deadlock will be there or it might result in a racing condition will be there. To resolve this racing condition, we could either use synchronization mechanism, make sure that only one process access the shared resources, which can avoid your issues will be there, right? So computing system model the world contains actors that execute independently but communicate with each other will be, that is we have IPC process will be there where one process tries to communicate with other process will be there. In modeling world, many parallel execution have to be composed and coordinated will be there. There are two common models for concurrent programming. One is shared memory, which means that one part of memory which could be shared across multiple processes will be there, where one thread can read at the same time the other thread might write will be there. So it's always result in an issue will be there if it is not handled properly. The second way will be message processing, where one or more process try to communicate with each other by sending and receiving a message will be there. Concurrent programming is a programming with multiple tasks will be there. It have major issues sharing computational resources between the task, interaction of the task will be there. So objects shared by multiple tasks have to be safe for concurrent access, which means that protected resources are sometimes we called as a shared resource model will be there, or we call it as resource safe operations will be there. Tasks accessing such an object interact with each other indirectly through other objects will be there, that is we probably using IPC mechanisms, so that one process accessing resource others will be stopped. Once the process complete the task will be there, it provide a signaling mechanism and communicate other process so that others can access will be there. And access to the protected object can be lock free, which means that a process will, when a process want to access the resource, it checks whether the process is available. If the process is available, it can acquire the process and lock the resources so that others cannot access will be there. In case if it is a process in locked mode, it can keep checking until the resources available will be there. Blocking objects can used for task synchronization using these following approaches will be there. You can have events will be, that is you have signal and pass events will be there, or you can use mutex and semaphores will be there, waitable timers or queues. So these are some of the ways where we can able to achieve synchronization for the shared resources problem will be there, right? So here's the real-time scenario where might be a problem. Say assume you have a bank account which have some certain amount of balance will be there. You can access your bank account in multiple ways, that is you can use your mobile app to access your bank account, or might be you can reach in person to the bank and make a transaction will be there, or you can use a net banking to do a transaction will be there, or you can use your Google app. Assume that there are four independent threads which operating on one particular bank account and do a different kind of transaction at the same time at same second should be there. If the operation is not mutually exclusive, ultimately which results in a race condition will be there. To avoid that, what we are supposed to do is we can protect the resources so that only one thread will access this. Say example, if thread A is trying to access the resources, at the same time other threads are keep in a waiting mode will be there. Once one thread complete the task, other thread will allow to access the resource will be there. So the same example which is present in other diagram, we have one shared variable which could be accessed by two different processes will be there. So the outcome of variable which depends on the way which the process will be accessed, which process will come access last, at, that will be influenced in the result will be there. So this is a simulation of a race condition will be there. So race condition is nothing but, say example, you have a variable called A which holds a value of 100. There are two different threads which are trying to operate at the same time. One thread will be incrementing, other thread will be decrementing. First thread will increment the value by 2, other thread will decrement the value by 5. Assume thread both threads will try to do the operation at the same time. Both threads sees the value as 100 will be there, right? and first thread will take the value as 100 and try to update the value with 1 or 2. At the same time, the second thread is already returned the value as 100 and it subtracts the value to be 5. So it has updated the value as 95. The actual values has to be reflected will be 100 plus 2 1 or 2 and minus 5 it could be 97. Instead of 97 it is reflecting as 95 will be there. So it is due to a race condition will be there. Whichever threads will run first, the value will get updated. Whichever runs thread the last will be that value will be remained will be there. So the values, if you define the values, it can be either from 95 97 or 1 or 2 will be there. It can be any possible. This is applicable only if two threads. Say assume if you have more number of threads will be there, then the possible outcome will be increasing will be there. To avoid that, we need to synchronize the activity so that one process accessing a resource, ultimately the other process will be blocked. So that is what we refer to as atomicity. That is, if you want to update a value, you check the value, get the value, add, make changes to the value and update the result will be there. It has to be in a single process will be there. During that time, other process will not be allowed to access the resources will be there. Here's a sample example for race condition will be there. I have a counter value which has a value of 100 will be there, and there are two methods, right? First method will have a increment which try to increase the value of x by 1 for 100 times, and the second one will try to decrease when the value for 100 times will be there. And we are creating two different threads, assigning a target for one will be increment, other will be decrement, and try to call both threads at the same time will be there, right? If you define the output of the thread will be, it doesn't, irrespective of behavior, it can be a multiple values will be there. You'll see how it has run will be there. The same program will be there. We have a global variable x which is set to be 0, and we'll try to increment and decrement the value. So the outcome will be, if you run for multiple times, the outcome for iteration will be, it is an independent will be there, right? This is the sample program which I shown there. I have increment and decrement will be there. If you define the predicted output behavior, it could be increment decrement increment decrement. So the values will be a mixture of those operations will be there. Sometimes it starts incrementing, sometimes it's decrementing. See, it's 10 initially, then it comes to -1, it's -2, it's somewhere around, then you find somewhere into positive values will be there. See, -30 is multiple times. So the behavior of a thread process, it is not a definable one will be there. Process values can be changes from one to other will be there.